Well, good afternoon. How you guys doing? This is Eddie with Eclipse Rising Tarot. Oh man, I told you guys yesterday, Leo, that I was gonna make a video in the afternoon. I said that yesterday though, but I'm gonna do it today. So, decided to take lunch, and basically where I live at, there's out in the hill country, right in Texas, a lot of woodlands, not woodlands, but like that around everywhere. So I decided to duck out, come out here to the wilderness. Not really, pretty close. I mean, the highway's like I don't know, 300 feet that way, I guess. So I want to go ahead and do a reading. I've been feeling something with you guys. It's been eating at me. I don't know why. So let's see what the energy looks like for you guys. This may not resonate with everybody. If it does, keep it. If it doesn't, leave it. Uh, yeah, you guys are you're all over the place. You're all over the fucking place. Damn it, Leo. No, you ain't. You're all right. You're just moving forward, ain't you? Yeah, there it is. Hierophant card. What y'all up into, Leo? What y'all up into? Put that down right there. Get grounded. Definitely getting grounded. What are y'all leaving behind? Is it a lifestyle, a certain way? See, it's not about an ex. It's not about an ex. This is about a lifestyle or something that you guys have been into, and y'all hold on to it really tight. I don't know what the hell it is, and I don't know who this resonates with. Excuse my nails, I'm dirty. Working on drywall, doing my thing. You guys are leaving something out, and I don't see it being a person. It's something that what y'all into. Y'all into something. Hold on. Let's see. Well, whatever it is, you're going towards your sun. However, at the same time, for you to leave something out, it illuminates something. The sun brings light to something. Just like a light worker. Like I'm a light worker, right? So I'm here to bring light to things. Shine light on things for you guys to see. To help guide y'all along the way. So if there's people trying to fuck you around or blah blah blah, if I can help you, I can look into it. And you guys are highly intuitive, of course. You guys are leaving something out. Something came to light. Something. Let's find out. Hierophant. You're going within. You're thinking deep. That's like that card could be used. You could say like spiritually or going within, like your higher consciousness type thing. You guys are like really, and people are kind of looking at y'all kind of strange. Like, yeah, it's like you're formulating a plan. You're putting something together, and you're acting different. Some people are looking at you like crazy, like they don't understand what it is you're doing. I don't know. Yeah, there's your card, strength card. You're pushing through. I know I did a reading this morning for you guys. I don't know who it resonated with, but you guys are moving into a new relationship, and your ex person, that controlling person, that narcissist, the person who wanted to make you feel like everything was your fault, and it really isn't. They feed off of that shit. If you reciprocate with them, if you fight with them about it, if you throw back at them, they throw a rock in the pond, you throw one back, and y'all straight get into it and shit. They love it. You're basically feeding them. They feed off that shit. They feed off of your energy, off of your emotions, off of your pain, off of your suffering. They love it. And then as you're arguing, it's like that one thing where I don't want to argue with you because I won't argue with you because sooner or later I'll be proven right. So they'll just tit for tat keep going with you, and if you keep reciprocating with them, you keep throwing shit back and forth with them, eventually they're gonna find a point where they can just throw it back in your face. They know that you guys are giving. They know that you guys are trying to balance scales. They don't want that. Because if they have to balance the scale with you, that means they have to put in half the work. And they don't want to put half the work in. That's the last fucking thing they want to do. And you know that. And that doesn't necessarily mean just a lover. This is people in your life, man. Something's going on here. You guys are making a change. Something came to light to y'all. Y'all were like doing things like just like I was gonna say autonomously. I can't even say the word. Just like in y'all were in like just what do they call it? My father told me that one day. He said it's when you go into like uh, people around you are starting to feel like they're losing sleep over what they can't figure out what you're doing. But you guys, you spend a lot of your life just like autopilot. There we go, autopilot. You're just going through the motions every day, going through the motions, and to the point to where somebody you were dealing with, ex-partner or whatever, they finally got to you and you just said, fuck it, I'm out. You know what I mean? I can't do this. I can't afford to do this anymore. And not only is it financially, binding because you can lose work off of that shit. When people get in your head, they make you lose sleep. You lose sleep, you can't focus the next day at work. That's what it is. This isn't your ex, this is you. This is you. For some of you guys, as you're going through life, you're doing your part and you can't understand what the is going on. I did a video the other day and it was about guilty by association. I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but you should. And it basically says that people can do everything that they're supposed to do, everything they feel like they're supposed to be doing right in their life, and they're doing it, but yet people look at them strangely. And it's not you, it's the people that you hang out with. Even though you're not that person, when you hang out with certain individuals, people are going to look at you and think you're just like them. Especially if they don't know you. If they know you, they're going to be wondering why. Depending on what they're into, yeah. Especially if it's into some, substances or something like that, then everybody's going to think, if they're into substances, and, I'm not judging the next man, but you know how people are, some people use it for self-medication and stuff, and I'm not saying that that's right, but who am I to judge? I don't know what the dynamic is, you know what I mean? A lot of times people can't get certain things. I'm not saying for you that it's okay for you to do that, self-medicate. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying in some cases people do that because they just can't get it, whatever, and it helps them. I don't know. I'm going to stay out of that. I don't know who that's for. Moving forward on your chariot. See, you could be on your chariot going along the ways, but if you're going side by side with people like that, it's gonna kind of, and I know it shouldn't matter what people think. However, depending on what you're into, especially if you have children and a family and stuff like that, it kind of rubs off on them. So they kind of, even though we're strong and we know fuck this and fuck that and fuck what they think and we don't give a damn, that's fine. Now, if you got kids with you that are involved, your children and stuff like that, and depending on where you live and all that stuff, you got to take those things as accountability, and to account and take accountability for it, because those are your kids. And a lot I've seen kids go after their parents because they're like, dude, what the are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, whatever you're doing over there is making me look bad, with my friends, So the best thing for you to do now is just kind of, if you're feeling that way, you're feeling like it's starting to finally hit you. You're starting to see the light, the sun's there. It's shining a light on something. You're starting to understand that that way of life, that just kind of going through the motions, that autopilot shit, that fight or flight, you know what I mean, type thing. It's all these things that combined in one, right? As you go through life, that's not what it is about. And you're starting to see that. I believe you're starting to understand that. And you're starting to take accountability for your actions. You're like, well, yeah, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Yes, you are, but what are the intentions behind it? You know what I mean? Is this for your better? Is this for your best? Is this the best you can do for you and your family? So you start looking for people who collaborate, people that will be there to help you out. People that will put out the same amount of effort and work as you have. And it's hard to find people like that nowadays. A lot of people wear that mask. And they'll come in with, acting like they have good intentions. However, at the end of the day, you find out they didn't. And that's messed up. But you're starting to get to the point to where you're starting to use your intuition. You're starting to see these things. You're starting to see that these aren't people that you need to be dealing with. Yeah. And like this morning, I pulled some cards, and you guys have an incoming person. Somebody coming in that wants to work with you guys, that wants to collaborate with you, And this is going to be somebody different than you've ever dealt with before. And for some of you guys, it's scary. You're not used to it. You're not used to this type of person. You're not used to people that are willing to collaborate. You're always waiting for what's the catch type thing. You know what I mean? And I feel that with you guys. I don't know. This may not, like I said, this may not resonate with everybody. But for some of you guys, you're not used to that. You're like, what's the catch? you don't really want to deal with them. You're kind of closing yourself off, and it's not a good thing, because there's a lot of good people out there. Yeah, there's a lot of people with bad intention, but there's a lot of people with good intentions. You know, you have to use discernment. You know, yeah. There's people out there. That's the second time I pulled that, by the way. Somebody out there wants to collaborate with you, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. It doesn't have to be intimate like that. I mean, it could be friends, partners, business, something like that. Something that you're putting off. You're putting off a vibe. You're shining, right? And that's another thing also, since now that you guys have found yourself or decided to go down a different path, you are shining brighter than you ever have. And what happens with people that shine bright, the people that are on that dark side and that moon energy, you know, they're scared to come near you. They'll talk a lot of shit behind your back, for sure, because they can do that in the shadows. That's easy to do in the shadows, you know. Yeah, you're shining bright. It's the second time I pulled that card too, and I'm shuffling these things. You're shining bright. Yeah, look at that. Here, there they are. They're in the background. They're over there talking shit about you in the dark, because they don't have the balls to do it in your face, because you're shining too bright. Because they know that you're right in what you're saying. In your face, they can't say these things. In your face, they can't be this Seven of Swords person. They could try, but it ain't gonna work out, and you know that. You know that, and they know that, and they're not gonna do it. They don't have the fucking balls to do it. Cowards. Unfortunately, we have to deal with people like that in our lives. You know, it sucks, but yeah. You have somebody incoming. Somebody wants to come and communicate with you. Somebody that wants to work with you. I dropped like 4 cards. Oh, look at there. Beautiful. Nice cards to drop. First one is the star card that I dropped. Now you're in your star energy. That's moving forward. That's new ideas, new energy. Built this energy. Now you're starting to see things in a different light. So you're moving forward with that, right? Yeah. You're manifesting new things. You're manifesting. You're starting to manifest. You're starting to, with intention, you set your intention and you go for it, right? You start doing things. Moving towards your 4 of Wands. That was the third card I dropped down. See the celebration? See how they're having fun in there? That's what you're going towards. And it doesn't necessarily mean with another person. This isn't all about somebody else all the time. No, it could be you with yourself, just having fun. You know, or if you're with your children or your family, you know what I mean? Your close one, the close loved ones, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, a romantic relationship. No, it's not always about that. You know, you already may be in a romantic relationship and happy, and it may be something at work, something with a friend dynamic or something like that. You know, people that are taking advantage of you, and you're starting to see now, yeah, pull the devil. Look at that. The people that say they love you so much, but yet in the background, there's that devil energy. That's codependency, toxicity, that's possessiveness. They think they own you type shit. You know, that's a rough combination right there. You got to be careful of that. The people that come in with that mask on, that's what that is. That's a mask. That's a mask. See what it's covering? Yeah, that's a mask. Discernment, for sure. Because you don't know what these damn people are capable of doing. It's so windy out here, nice. Yeah. Yep. Here it goes. Flipped out. Hierophant, bottom of the deck. You know what you're supposed to be doing. They're gonna come at you sideways. And, oh man, like you're really breaking their heart. All of a sudden, it matters now. All of a sudden, you know, it's such a big deal. Was it? Is it? It wasn't then. Why is it now? Why now did you see me going in a different direction? Look at that. Now that they see you doing this, 2 cards came out, flipped. That's the 9 of Pentacles. This means that you're content. This means that you're independent. This is a card of independence. This means you don't need anybody. And even if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean, may also mean you don't need anybody to help support you in your ventures that you're doing. You don't need somebody to collaborate with you. You can do it on your own. Look, and you're content with that. That's the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups came out. That's you being content with whatever you're doing on your own. And you can still be in a relationship and be handling your business. You know what I mean? So this could be for somebody, this could be relationship-wise. You could be doing it on your own. This could also be something in business, in work, whatever. You know what I mean? Friendships and stuff. You don't need friends. You're like, maybe I don't need friends right now. Maybe I'm just going to focus on my family. You know, and I'm content with that. That's another meaning for that. It's not always about love and because really, ultimately, you don't need anybody. It's nice to have people, that's cool, but you don't need them. Ultimately, you don't. You need to love yourself. You learn to love yourself, you can love everybody. That's what that's all about. Yep. Riding away triumphantly from things that don't serve you. And they see that. See how he has his head up high? He's got this. Something he had to go through. Next card out. Putting your sword up. The Queen of Swords misses nothing. She sees all. People start fucking around with you. You may not even be noticing it, but she does. You will put that sword up high to keep those people away from you. Because not everybody has good intention. Spirit guides are here to protect. The universe will protect you from these things. But you have to learn first. You have to feel the burn, I guess. Doing what I do, I had to go through certain things in my life in order to get to where I'm at now. How could I tell you anything if I never experienced it? I've been there, done that. I've been that guy, you know what I mean? And I'm not proud of it, a lot of things I've done. But I'll admit, I've made mistakes. I was that narcissist. I was that person, I was a cheater in the past. I've done all these things, and I've learned over time. Well, I tell you one thing, if I try to fuck around now, the universe turns around and takes a big old chunk of my ass because they know that I know. And that's like a preacher in the church trying to lead his flock in the wrong way. Well, you know what happens to those type of people. They don't get away with it. New beginnings. Card flipped. This is the card of new beginnings with clarity. With clarity means now you see what it's all about. Now you see what it feels like to get burned. Now you know, starting over, how to go about it in a different angle and prevent all that, those people trying to latch on and all those things that they do, try to control you to get what they want from you. Now you know to stay away from them. It's new beginnings with clarity. That's what that card means. Let's see what else we got here. There's a star card again. I see it now. I see you, Leo. I see where you're going. Judgment goes to those who have done wrong to you. Could be on you too if you've done wrong to others. That's just the way it happens. And that's self-imposed. That's self-imposed. Because, and if you've been watching my channel, you'll know. If you watch my channel and you've listened to what I've said, you'll understand what I've said. Whatever you put out there comes back. If you're starting to have a hard time, think about things that you've done and you've said. You've got to be more calculated in the things that you do and you say. Because whatever you say and whatever you do, it comes back. So that's self-imposed. That's self. You're judging yourself now. If you want to make mistakes and you want to fuck around and find out, you're going to find out. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow. It may not be with that same person, maybe with somebody else. Yeah, you don't want that. I mean, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want to do. But I'll tell you, judgment comes. And it's not afterlife, it's here, now. What they call the karmic debt, cultivating karmic debt. That's another way to say it. Yep. Tower moments. Things that you were doing that you knew weren't right. Things that people were doing to you that they knew weren't right. A tower drops on you or on them. With every tower that goes down, one's rebuilt, right? It's not a bad card. It's just new beginnings. That's all it is. So, I get one more card out for you guys, and I got to get back to work. I just felt compelled to do this. Yep, Chariot. You in your chariot, you're moving forward. You could be traveling, you could go on a vacation, you could be moving. You guys are just getting away from the things from the past. You're pushing those things, not necessarily pushing away, you're just getting away from them. You got your sword up with the Queen of Swords. She doesn't miss anything. You know, and a lot of you guys, you're protected, man. Been through a lot in your life. Had to walk away from a lot of things. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes. That's how you learn, though. So it makes you stronger, right? Now you're content with the decisions that you're making. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. I just wanted to get that out. I just felt compelled to do this. So, beautiful night, a beautiful day out here in the woods. But, except for that big pile of stuff there, but basically, yeah, there we go. Just me and a lot of trees. Anyways, you guys have a blessed afternoon. Until next time, this is Eddie with Eclipse Horizon Tarot. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, love and light.